Hey guys, I'm doing to jump into today reviewing Super Mario Sunshine, which was released for the Nintendo GameCube in 2002 and as a part of the Mario 3D All-Stars pack, which was released for the Nintendo Switch. Now, the main plot of this game is that Mario, Peach and Toadsworth are on this sort of vacation thing to Delfino Island. And Mario's framed for crime he didn't commit, which was basically him making Delfino Island all mucky and stuff like that. But in actuality, it was basically the Shadow Mario, who was actually Bowser Jr. in disguise. And you basically have to clear up all of Delfino Island and also collect these things called sprites. Now, this game is basically similar to a lot of other 3D Mario games nowadays, like Mario 64, Mario Galaxy, Galaxy 2, and Mario Odyssey. But to me, I feel like this is like one of the lower, lesser known Mario games out of those ones, because I feel like those overshadow Mario Sunshine, and I think it's mainly because I feel like Mario Sunshine isn't to be honest, doesn't give that much of an impact to 3D games as like Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine and Mario Galaxy and Odyssey might do. And yeah, it's like, and I might try and explain it throughout this video why I feel like Mario Sunshine isn't as well liked as like the other games, in my opinion. So one of the things that I do like about this game is Mario's new companion Flood. Now, Mario games aren't really well known for their companions. The only ones that have appeared throughout the Mario games is the Baby Luma in Galaxy 1 and 2, Flood in Mario Sunshine, and Cappy in Mario Odyssey. And Flood, I would say, is an okay companion, but I would say he's the sort of fee of Mario Sunshine, where in Legend of Zelda Sword, people would say that Fee is sort of annoying and sort of like robotic at times and stuff like that. And I feel kind of like that way to Flood. It's like, even though he was created by Professor Egad, a character from the Luigi's Mansion games, I really feel like Flood is like it's like not the best. I kind of feel like Flood could have been improved in some aspects. I kind of would feel like Flood could have had more potential to him, but I just felt like there should be more to Flood. And yeah, that's what I feel about Flood. But there are some elements of Flood I do like. How, like, for example, he can basically have these different abilities when Mario uses him. So basically, Flood has like these different modes. So and which you can use him, because basically Flood is basically like this device that can like use water. So there's like a mode where Flood can make Mario hover for a few seconds. A mode where Flood can shoot Mario straight up into the air like a rocket, and a mode where Flood can basically throw water at enemies in like any direction. Or just standing in like a certain place and just going from side to side and hitting certain objects or enemies or gunk or whatever. And yeah, like the only good thing about Flood, in my opinion, with all the different abilities and modes that he can use for Mario. And yeah, that's kind of okay. Now, this is the only game in the Mario series that has voice acting, like full-on voice acting, like how Breath of the Wild has voice acting. But with Sunshine, to me, in my opinion, I don't feel like it should be there, because like it feels somewhat weird. Because like in every other cutscene you see in the game, you might see someone like Peach talking to, let's say, Toadsworth, or you might have one of the island residents of Delfino Island talking to Mario about how he committed a crime he didn't commit and stuff like that. And just, to me, don't yeah, it just kind of feels weird to me, because like Mario isn't really well known, like the games that have like a lot of voice acting in their cutscenes. Like the only times that they do have some sort of voice acting is when Peach is reading out her like letter to Mario in like Mario 64, and in the Galaxy games, and maybe when Bowser's kind of talking in some sort of like broken but not really English in Mario Odyssey, because like you can hear some like words like Mario and some of the words in the opening of Odyssey. But apart from that, I don't really feel like the voice acting in Mario Sunshine is like, it just feels weird to me, if you know what I mean. Now, the overworld is Delfino Island, and it's basically like this large dolphin island, as you can see on the map. And I feel like that's quite interesting. It's like it's basically its own version of whatever hub world or overworld 3 Mario games are. Like in Mario 64 you have Peach's Castle, in Mario Galaxy 1 you have the Observatory, Mario Galaxy 2 you've got Spaceship Mario, and in Mario Odyssey you've got all the bunch of kingdoms that you can go and visit. And I feel like that's quite cool, because you can basically just go to anywhere on the island, but only if you progress through the game and get a certain amount of stars. Or if you want to go to like new areas, like you can go to visit missions. But the mini island is quite cool, because you can basically experiment with the moves you have. So for example, one of the moves you can do in the game is dive, and I really quite like the dive mechanic, because if you use it with any river of water, or just like a sort of like where water is kind of flowing on some sort of surface, and you dive on it, you can basically just you can go faster, like kind of like if you want to like a one of those water slides, if you want a water slide, and then you can just go faster, and then you can let's say use the hover mechanic of Flood to like let's say go on a trapeze rope or something. And yeah, I think that's quite interesting, and really probably one of the cooler features. Now it's time for some gameplay. So the gameplay is quite interesting. Like if you want to like go fast, like dive, you basically press the Y button. The jump is basically the same than the base button. You can do a triple jump by pressing B 3 times, and also if you want to use Flood, you can press X to like activate the different modes. So for example, if I wanted to, let's say, get from, let's say, this ledge over here to that one, I would just basically use the hover nozzle and then just get to this ledge. And you can basically use ZR to basically use Flood. Yes, that's it. Flood. I kind of forgot the name. And a ground pound basically is ZL. If you press the L button, you can see like the different places where you can go visit Delfino Island. So basically, where I am right now is Delfino Plaza, and here's like Bianco Hills, Rico Harbour, Delfino Airship, and a lot more locations will open up to you as soon as you get like a certain amount of stars or sprites or whatever. And if you want to go into a specific area, basically press the B button and Mario will enter a specific level. I think that's quite interesting, like how it makes the pipe sound. Because like of how you can like go to like into different levels, and then you can like go and see which different sprites you can go to, and these are named episodes. Like I think that's quite cool, because like with like each of like let's say Mario Galaxy, you can go to like mission 1, mission 2, mission 3, that sort of thing, and then but with this one it's like episodes. I think that's quite cool. So let's say I want to pick episode 4. Yeah, episode 4. and then it will give me a specific mission. So it will be saying like red coins of Windfall Village or Windmill Village. I think I thought it was Windfall, yeah. And then into the level, and then then you can like basically just go and basically just complete the mission. And then like I really enjoy like the whole thing, because you can basically like go into things where you can you might not be able to do, like if you didn't have flood. So for example, let's say if I want to go to that particular wall, I can basically just use flood and just I can use flood and just try and get to the wall. So yeah, so this will be kind of impossible if I didn't have flood, but it might have been possible if I also had, let's say, Cappy as well. But if for the game, like when it was released, I don't think I would have gone into that wall if I didn't have flood. So yeah, and also because flood uses water, that does mean you will run out of water eventually. So if you ever want to go to like if you need to refill flood, go to any bit of water, let's say like this lake here, and basically press the R button or the Del button, ZR button, basically refill flood there. I think that's like, you know, a good way to like refill flood, instead of just you have to wait until flood is completely diminished and then you have to like refill flood. So I do like how like if you like, you know, got like a bit of water out, you can basically just like basically refill flood and stuff like that. And yeah, and then this does mean like because you now have flood, a few things are taken away from it. So like you can't backspin. I felt like that's like, because like that's such a like a unique move. Like it was like first introduced in like I think Mario 64. So you can't use that. You can't use that in this game. So I feel like it's like kind of a bit of a disappointment. But I kind of see where Nintendo were going with, because like you have flood, and they want to like use all of flood's capabilities to its fullest. And yeah, another thing about, I feel like the camera's a bit sensitive. Like not all the time, just whenever it needs to be. Like it can be sensitive at times. And I'm trying to get to that red box over there, because I want to not Cappy, but Flood's other mode he can use, which I was talking about. And it will just like the different hustle modes. Hopefully I can get to this. Nope. Okay. Yeah, but like I feel like, you know, the camera can be sensitive at times, so it can work with. It can work with you at times, but yeah, but like it can be like, you know, it can be your best friend, but sometimes your enemy. Like case in point, the Sandbird level that I've been hearing about. You know, I'm gonna try and find another way to get to that. Actually, I don't know it. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I heard about the set. Oh, okay. I'm actually. I might try and find another red box. So yeah, I heard about like the Sandbird level was giving people a lot of difficulty because of I think of the camera or something. I could be wrong, or because of the way the levels are designed. But I've heard that the Sandbird level can be difficult and it's quite frustrating at times. Ooh, a red box. So yeah, so if you want to like, yeah, grab the boxes, and then with this one, just basically shoot you up like a rocket. There we go. Yeah. So it is, and the rocket one is a bit difficult to use because you have to precise your jump, like use it like precisely where you're going to go. So for example, if let's say I want to go to that particular building there, so yeah, you basically have to try and land Mario as close to the building as possible for him to land on it. and I feel like it's okay. I guess it's an okay mode, but I do prefer the HODL mode to this one, and plus it does use a lot of water. Like you do have to refill a lot if you want to use the boost, or the rocket one in to your advantage. So yeah, that's been it for the gameplay. Now it's time to go back to the review. Now, the various levels in the game require, you know, a variety of ways to beat them. So, for example, there might be a level where you might have to collect 8 red coins. There might be a level where you have to beat a particular boss. And there are levels where you have to basically move throughout the level without the use of FLUDD. And I feel like the FLUDDless levels are quite challenging, mainly because you have to it's basically like a traditional Mario level you might get in like Mario 64 or something like that. And I feel like that's really quite cool because I feel like FLUDD can be sort of overpowered at times. Like, let's say you're about to die in the particular area of a level, and then you can use FLUDD to basically save you from being hurt by any of the ink or the gunk or whatever. And I feel like FLUDD can help you at times, and it's a bit overpowered. But in the flooded levels, you have to really just think on your feet and just basically just figure out how to get past each level without the use of FLUDD. And each level is different. Like, for example, the very first one is basically this sort of moving part. So you basically got like these sort of blocks that can move about. You've got these larger blocks that are basically twisting and they go faster, and you basically got these rotating stars, and you have to precise your jumps quite precisely, and then you're at the shine sprite. And now for the shine sprites, you kind of like in Mario 64 and Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Every time Mario collects one, he does this little dance thing. No, it's not really a dance. It's more of a hey. It's like in Mario Galaxy. He's like, you got a power star. But I feel like this is again kind of how I felt like how the voice acting felt a bit weird to me in Sunshine. I kind of feel like the collection sprite doesn't really feel that great in my opinion, because if you look at something like Mario's Galaxy, whenever you collect a power star, oh cool, I got a power star. But when you got something like a grand star, it had this big large cutscene where you got Mario circling around the grand star, and then he does the pose where oh what I've got a grand star, and I feel like the sprites and it could have been improved. If let's say you're fighting a boss, let's say on the final mission, you could get this big large sprite, and it'd be oh, and then Mario can do a little sort of victory pose or victory dance or around the large sprite, and then I kind of feel like that would have been quite interesting in seeing how it would have been cool to see a large sprite just as part of the boss in the final challenge or something like that. And yeah, it would have been quite cool instead of just having these small sprites and just oh, Mario victory pose for the sprite. It's yeah, but apart from that, I do enjoy. There are some elements of Mario Sunshine I do enjoy. I really enjoy a lot of the levels. I think the levels are quite cool. They're very different from the other games that have come before and after them in terms of 3D aspects, like Mario 64 and Mario Galaxy, how those games are very different. I really enjoy the levels in Sunshine, mainly because of how you can use FLUDD and how you can basically use FLUDD to your advantage in some of the levels. So for example, there's a level in which you have to get these quacks, the ones that basically spring you up into the air. You basically have to use FLUDD basically get them off these mirror things, and you basically have to hit, like, I think you use Flood to, like, hover to one side and then ground pound, and then once some of them are off, go to the next one, then that's the mission over. And I think that, like, that's quite good, interesting because you can use Flood and use all of the other aspects to your advantage. Kind of like how, let's say, Cappy might save you in Mario Odyssey, where you can possess a certain object, or if you're in Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, you can use Baby Luma's spin attack to basically save you from an impending doom, like falling into a black hole or something like that. So yeah, so there are some elements that I feel like are quite interesting for Mario Sunshine, and I feel like there should have been some elements where it could have been improved on, but apart from that, I feel like Sunshine is like one of those underrated gems in the Mario 3D games, and I feel like it should be, like, probably more loved than it should be. But apart from that, I really do enjoy Mario Sunshine. So yeah, that's been my review for Mario Sunshine. I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.